Hi, everybody. Mrs. Bianchi. We're looking at number 2. Sarah's craft project uses pieces of yarn that are 1/8 yards long. She has a piece of yarn that is 3 yards long. How many 1/8 yard pieces can she cut and still have 1 1/4 yards left? The red line here represents the 3 yards of the yarn, which, by the way, is equal to 24/8. And why are we choosing a number line with eighths? Because this is broken up into eighths. So let's rethink 1 1/4 as a number of eighths, because they're talking about 1 1/4 yards being left. So if we have 1 1/4 yards left, that's equivalent to 5/4 if we turn it into an improper fraction. And where did that come from? Do 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Now, since we're talking about eighths, for modeling purposes, let's rethink this as eighths. So 10/8 represents how much should be left. So that's this amount, right? 10/8 would be left. Now I'm just going to move this to the other side of the number line, but you can see that it's 10/8, but I'm just going to move it over here. Because what would that mean about this blue line? We need to figure out what this value is, right? Because that's how much she actually used for the project. Well, you can see on the number line that that would be equal to 14/8. But what's the algorithm behind that? If we didn't have the pretty number line to look at, what's the math behind that? Well, what did we do? We took 24/8, which is the entire piece of string, which is equal to 3, and we subtracted the 10/8, which is how much that she has to have left. And that gives us the 14/8, which you can see would be represented here in blue. All right, so now we're taking that amount, that 14/8, and we're breaking that up into equal groups of what? So let's look again. We're breaking that up into equal groups of 1/8. So we can count. We can count how many groups there are. So there's 1 group, 2 groups, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 groups. Or we can do the algorithm. So if we do the algorithm, we're taking that amount, which again I have represented here in blue. The amount that's in blue is 14/8. Let's move this again so you can see it. So this is the amount that she had left, and this is what she used. And if we apply keep, change, flip, we keep the dividend, we change this to multiplication, and we flip this to its reciprocal. We flip the divisor gets flipped to its reciprocal. So that would look like this. 14/8, we keep that, we change this to multiply, and we flip this to its reciprocal. All right, so once you have this, now it's just a question of, do you know how to take advantage of a cross-reducing opportunity? Because we have a nice one right here. We can divide by 8 and get 1, divide by 8 and get 1. And if we just go ahead and do the math, 14 times 1 is 14, 1 times 1 is 1, and 14 divided by 1 is 14. So did we count 14 pieces of 1/8? In other words, when we counted, was there 14 of these oval circles between here and here, which is the amount that she would have used for her project? And the answer to that question is yes. So things to write down how we got the amount that was used, right? Because this is the amount, this was the total amount. This was the amount that was left. So this was the amount that she actually used for the project. And then we broke that up into equal groups of 1/8, and we ended up getting the 14.